Hey guys, welcome back to class. This is Brian from BAM Anxiety, and I teach you guys emotional freedom so you can be yourself. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you know when I have new content. So we started getting into the emotional releasing. For us to be free, emotionally free in life, we need to be able to release our emotions. So we need to understand the ABCs of releasing. Body is the ego, and it tells you whether it's satisfied or not. Now, when we're looking at the two techniques, we have the relax and release, and that's more kinesthetic. We feel it in our body. We can relax the tension that we have in the front and feel the back as we're allowing the information or emotion kind of just seep out, right? Kind of just relaxes, almost like a massage, right? After you take after you take a long day and get a massage, you relax. There's no tension in your body. Sometimes you get knots, and that's because it's just pent up stress after a long time. Now, on the other side, we had the reset reword. Now, this was the more complicated one. The reset reword allows you to reprogram the computer in your head or rewrite your book. Before we get to a point that we can write a book, we need to write a page, and then a paragraph, and then a sentence, and then a word, and then we need to know our ABCs. So we have a emotional scale that goes from negative to positive emotions. Now there's many comprehensive emotional scales. This has been the most simplest. It's kind of hits all the tiers that we kind of go through, especially as we are experiencing life. AGFLAP. Now, AGFLAP is an acronym for the lower emotions that we have. AGFLAP reminds me of the Aflac duck. What we want to do in life is not give a duck of these emotions. These emotions are the things that keep us in the biological and the psychological realm and doesn't allow us to hit our essence, the emotions that allow us to have a beautiful life. So as we are looking at AGFLAP, we have apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride. These all fall in their own intensities, right? Because apathy can be any of boredom, depression, stuck, numb, I don't care. It's almost the lowest form of being in the world. It's almost like you're dead, right? As we start kind of letting go of the numbness that we have, we start grieving. In this area, we have the shame, the guilt, and the grievance. We feel abandoned, inadequate, rejected, unloved, wounded. So if anybody uses these words, right, you can't see them, but you can pretty much look up the AGFLAP charts and it'll have a list of words that you can kind of just check off and see, hey, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Now, fear is where a lot of people are at, especially right now, especially with the panic, the pandemic, a lot of things are going on. Fear is anxious, hesitant, terrified, defensive, paranoid. Once we start getting into second level, right, we're now in the middle, the lab. Now, this is where we're trying to force the emotions that come out. Some way, somehow, we haven't been able to process them correctly, so we try to push them out. And this is the garbage that we're putting out there in the world. Lust, anger, pride. Lust, obsessive, possessive, driven, hunger, compulsive, manipulative. Anger, jealous, spiteful, defiant, irate, frustrated. Finally, pride. False, humble, conceited, clever, overbearing, rigid, or stoic. Now, again, we want to be able to not care about these because these are still negative emotions, right? These are the most negative, right? There's going to be a polarity to it, and of course, these are going to be the more positive. We will review CAP when we get to logotherapy because we want to be able to reach levels of courage, acceptance, and peace in our lives because that's what brings us love and joy. As we have an idea of our ABCs, we can understand where we're predominantly at every single moment. Now, we have two forms that we can just allow ourselves to just be. radical honesty and radical acceptance. As we are looking at the mind, we have a conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. So where our it is, it's going to hit mostly where the unconscious is at. These are our instant gratifications, our primal wishes and urges. This needs to be satisfied right now. This is the baby. Then we have the superego. This is the morality and the guilt. It still hits some of the unconscious, but yet it hits some of the subconscious. Now this little area means that it's just kind of like in the middle, right? We have the visible foreground, and then we have the peripheral background. The subconscious is right here, right? A lot of things are going on in our body, and a lot of information is flying in. The subconscious can take in millions of bits of information rather than the conscious that can only hold 5 to 7 bits of information. By looking at this allows us to look at how honesty and acceptance allow us to let go of these older and negative emotions. We want to be honest with ourselves, others, and life. At any given moments, we want to be able to take a step back and ask, what is going on? Am I in a position where I'm trying to find what the truth is? Am I lying to myself? Am I lying to others? Am I lying about my life or my situation? To control the environment or the situation, are you trying to control others or manage their expectations and impressions? Are you trying to come off a different manner where people can accept you? Are you being honest at this moment? And it's going to hit these 3 areas. It's going to hit the id. You're going to be honest and explode on people. You're going to hit the superego, where you're trying to tell your truth and people won't see it because you're trying to be righteous and they just want to do what they want to do. So there's a conflict in perspective, as well as the ego when it comes to you. Sometimes because you're lying to yourself, your self-esteem is going to drop. And this is because your self-esteem is actually weighed on your emotions. As you are going through the process of just being honest every single day, then you can see, where are you lying to yourself? Are you lying to yourself as you wake up? Are you lying to yourself when you speak to your family or loved ones? Are you lying to yourself when you go to school or work? Where is it that it's inconsistent and you're feeling these emotions, right? Where is it that you're feeling the fear? Where is it that you're feeling the apathy, the grief? Even these pushing and forcing emotions out, as we are angry, very desirable, with lust, even prideful, where we think we're right. So be able to find where you're indicated on this scale, and that'll allow you to be honest. Am I depressed? Okay, cool. So how can I be honest with myself about my depression? Well, why am I depressed? Is it because someone did this to me, or am I the one that is making myself feel this way? Others. How are you trying to control others? How are you so manipulative or obsessive or possessive over others? This is not being honest about whether you actually love someone. This doesn't allow you to communicate effectively as well. It deters people from you, because when people are being forced or controlled, there's going to be a resistance. So you're going to have this tango, and it's not going to be a pretty one. It's basically like boxing. So you're going back and forth, and each one is trying to find an opening where now you're getting back at each other. So keep that in mind as you're getting into these moments of arguments. Take a step back, be honest with how you're feeling first, and then you can speak a truth in a manner where now you know where you're coming from. In life, you want to be able to know that you're always okay, right? Taking a self-inventory of your life is very important. If you can't do that, it's going to be very difficult for you to take responsibility over it, because if you're not honest about your life, especially if you keep hitting these lower emotions, then that's what you're going to get in life. You're going to keep getting this depression, this numbness, this stuckness, the moments where you keep saying, I don't care. So keep that in mind as we're looking at radical honesty. So that gives you a overview of how you can be honest today. You can do that in any perspective. As the Japanese once said, there are three faces that we show the world. The one that we show the world, the one that we show our loved ones, and the one that we show ourselves. So as long as you are consistent in every layer of yourself through your consciousness, then you can be vulnerable and people will trust you and connect with you and feel comfortable with you. That's the most important thing. You want to create the trust because you trust yourself. As we're looking at acceptance, right? We have the welcome and allow and the let go. Now, I will create guided releasing meditations that will allow you to actually welcome and allow different parts of dissonance. There's going to be a cognitive dissonance that occurs, especially as we look at health, wealth, relationships, goals, resistance, even addictions. Just to name a few, the welcome and allowing is just allowing these emotions to be for what they are, right? We're going to feel apathy. We need to process it. Just sit with it, right? You're just basically just sitting. Welcome the emotions in your house and allow them to sit down with you, okay? No biggie, right? And then we let them go. The letting go process is just saying, can you just let that whole story unravel? Or can you stop making it real or trying to relive it? Can you just let it go for what it is? Being able to understand that you're not as smart as you think, and you should stop thinking of interpretations of the situation, because you need to be able to ask yourself, could I stop being so smart and allow it to be other than what I think it is? Being able to do that allows you to have that acceptance in life. And as you are in acceptance, you're already in the positive. So this allows you to cut all those unwanted friends in your house. Being able to let them know why is being able to understand, what are you feeling? So you need to be able to welcome and be honest with how you are interpreting them or experiencing them as well. So for our next video, we will look at the logotherapy and we will get into CAP, because we want to be able to know what are the positives of being able to let go of our emotions, processing them and experiencing them. Because again, if we're always in here, it's not fun, all right? Especially if we've created stories, then there's stacks of stories. And it's going to be very difficult to read all these books and write our story correctly if we just have so many programs or an over amount of homework that we have to do to get to the point that we are positive. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy that. Feel free, like the Facebook page, posting every day new content and content that can help you every day with little small things. And feel free to follow me on Instagram as well at BAAM_ANX, and you can get a real feel for me, right? I'm pretty raw, right? No filter whatsoever. As well as if you're interested in coaching, feel free with your comments and questions, contact me directly and then we can get started for you. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out and about what I just talked about. Peace.